Afternoon, and welcome back to the channel and welcome to the shed. Right, first of all I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that wished me well the week before last when I was burnt out. It does mean a lot, all the messages, so thank you very much. But yes, going back to that video, it wasn't nice, you know, but I had been working really hard and really at the end of it just got really stressed and emotional and basically just burnt out from work. So I had a few days off, rested, recuperated, re-energised, and went back to work last week. And what a week it was indeed, weather-wise. Wasn't it brilliant? Absolutely brilliant. Not really. But welly boots, very muddy, but we managed to knock out 3 cabins. So bonus. We were supposed to be going this evening, 4.5 hour drive up to Holyhead to get the midnight crossing over to Ireland and work in Ireland for a week. But it's proved too expensive. So we're not doing that now, which is a shame because I really would like to take you over to Ireland. But maybe sometime soon in the future. So we're working locally, but that's not really locally, Gloucestershire and then Manchester at the weekend. So it's a 3-day weekend this weekend, but then it's going to be a 5-6 day working week over the weekend. But anyway, right, what we're here for is Aviary Talk. As you probably know from the title and or the thumbnail of this video, it is, well, you're probably watching this now on Monday the 7th of November. Now, if you have aviaries and poultry and quails and birds and stuff, you'll probably know that the spread of avian flu is getting worse to the point that DEFRA have issued restrictions on your poultry birds and your aviary birds. But what I want to do is clear up the confusion with it, really, because there are so many things I've seen bouncing around in Facebook forums, Facebook groups, about the rules of what you can and can't do. People say, oh no, you've got to take all your birds out of the aviary and take them indoors. Well, let's just clarify that now. No, you don't. You don't at all, because what they're saying basically, as of midnight, tonight, you're watching it on Monday, so yeah. Well, as of now, you have to house your birds indoors, which basically means they're in the aviary. They're there in an aviary. That is classed as being housed. What they mean is they can't be roaming around. Now, obviously, I've got budgies and finches, so they're not going to be roaming around anyway. So that is perfectly acceptable to the conditions that DEFRA expects you to be doing. They are in an aviary. They're contained from the wild birds outside. There's no way wild birds or even rodents can get in there and contaminate them. You then got to keep their food and water in the area as well, or put that indoors away from the possibility of, again, rodents and wild birds getting in there. But as of the restrictions, that aviary is perfectly within the guidelines of what they say. They also say that well, if you've got more than a flock of 50 birds, then you need to have a foot dip, which has got to have like DEFRA approved disinfectant at the right dilution ratio. That's if you've got 50 birds or more. If you've got less than 50 birds, then they advise you do that anyway, but you don't have to. So what we're going to do is just restrict the fact that it's just myself and Emma will be going in the aviary to do the feeding and watering and cleaning, and then we're going to have a pair of sliders inside the indoor bit that we'll put them on to go in, and then we'll wash them afterwards and leave them in there so that we're not contaminated. Now, you can, I've seen obviously on forums as well, that you can actually cover the aviary and tarpaulin. That is not a requirement, but it is kind of a good idea if you really, you know, it depends on how you feel about your birds and you want to really protect them, then you can tarp up the aviary, but make sure there's plenty of light and ventilation and stuff. But I'm not going to do that with mine. Yes, you run the risk of, like, I've had that aviary over there and I had the aviary on the other side of the garden for a long time now, and I've never really seen any wild birds clinging to the mesh or anything like that. You do run the risk of them pooing or their feathers going in there, but that's a risk I'm willing to take because there isn't many cases in Northamptonshire at all at present. So that said, that hopefully that's cleared things up a bit. There are like a lot of biosecurity measures that you should take, and if you don't do them and are caught, then that is a criminal offence. So basically, just keep your aviary clean. Just one person, like so myself or Emma's going to go in there and clean it on a single pair of shoes. We're going to just keep disinfecting, just keep it as it is, but just keep an eye out for the birds and just see if anything changes, like behaviour wise. So there you go, that's cleared up the DEFRA stuff, because like I said, it's just right here in front of me and I've read it over and over and over, keeping all the updates and everything, and yeah, I think I'm doing the right thing. So anyway, what I said, aviary, got some new life in the aviary, so I'm going to take you up there in a minute. There is some that I can't see. I can hear baby finches, but I can't see how many there are. I sound at least 2, maybe 3. I've had a fledgling budgie that's out. I can see it now, it's clinging to the mesh, and I think I have some more budgies as well. So we're going to go up there. I have other things to do because it's Sunday, and you know what Sundays are like for me because Emma's at work. So yeah, I better go and check the kids. They're playing with kinetic sand, which is very messy indeed.
surprised when you said that you were leaving. Felt some abstract relief instead, now that we were even. If you're going, then hurry along. Don't drag your silly feet.
So yeah, I think I might hold fire on going in the Aviary and look at the new arrivals for a minute, because the heavens just opened and I got caught short down the shed. But yeah, like I said, I've got an old pair of sliders which I've put inside the Aviary, and yes, it is going to be very annoying, keep swapping and changing them, but I've got to be disciplined. So that's the way it is from now. But everything else, like the whole Aviary is contained itself. The rabbits' food, other than the stuff that they have kale and spinach and stuff out the fridge and carrots, but all the birds' food, the rabbits' food, even the tap for the water and everything is all self-contained in the Aviary. So the only contamination risk is myself or Emma going in and out. So yeah, just going to be very careful. I'm going to take the millet sprays down off the mesh, because I don't want the risk of wild birds trying to eat them, and I'm also going to minimise feeding the wild birds as well. So I'm not going to put out any food in the back garden and keep around the Aviary clear as possible. I'll still feed mealworms to the robin out the front, but yeah, just try to eliminate birds in the back garden. So yeah, I think what I might do is go and clear up all that kinetic sand. Well, I'm going to get wet going up there. Clear up all the kinetic sand, because they're now down in the lounge watching a film, the girls, and just left all the kinetic sand and stuff for me to clear up. And then hopefully when it clears up, I'll go in the Aviary and have a look at the new birds. I'm going to get wet. Well, I weren't expecting that at all, that rain. It just absolutely hammered it down. Well, I didn't expect it because I actually hadn't looked at the weather app, even though the weather app had warned me that it's going to rain, and now it's warned me that it's going to stop, and it stopped. So I'm back in the Aviary, I'm back in my sexy sliders, and I'm going to talk about the new arrivals in the Aviary. Now, not sure exactly how many because I can't see. So what we do have is Mummy Budgie in this box here. She had fledgling, which is over there, up there. Beautiful looking little bird. He came out the box on, I think, Thursday. Has just been chilling around on the perches ever since, and that's Daddy next to it. Almost had my head took off then. So that's Mummy Budgie, but in this box here, she, at last count, she had 5 eggs in there, and 3 had hatched. So I'm going to have a look in there. I think she's out at the minute, so I'm going to have a look in there, see if any of the other 2 eggs have hatched. Probably leave them in there. If they're not hatched, I'll probably leave them in there for a few more days or so, then take them out, probably at the end of the week. But yeah, she definitely had 3. One's a lot bigger than the other 2, so if I look in there, I'm not sure. Oh, she is in here. Mummy's in here. Let's have a look. Hey, Mum. Oh, don't squash the babies. Come away. No, she's still got just the 3. Come on. Yeah, she's got the 3 babies. So there's actually 6 eggs, so she's got 3 babies and 3 more eggs, which, like I said, I'll leave the eggs in there for probably about another week tops. And then, yeah, because the big one, I think that was about 2, maybe 3 days hatched before the other 2 came along. I know Violet's got eggs as well, but again, she's not really sitting on them. They're kind of just sat on the side of a box, so have a quick look in there. I mean, she is constantly in there, but they're not actually in the little dip where you'd expect them to be. They're sat at the side. I won't fall out. Oh no. Well done, Violet. She's actually moved them into the little dip in the bottom of the box, so maybe she was just collecting them up at the side, and now she's rolled them into position to now sit there and warm them up. Good girl. I'll leave you alone, Violet. Finch-wise, not a lot happened at all. Pretty much everything is empty until about a week ago, the very top house. Hello, little new baby. Like, human. The very top house at the back there, that's actually got, well, chirping. Like I said, I don't know how many are in there though. I could just hear chirping. There's at least 2. Now, Mummy and Daddy, I can see one now. Mummy and Daddy are just up there. So Daddy is actually the little black cheek, second on the left there, and Mummy is the white and female there. So she'll go back in, but if I try and get up to the box, so let's see. We just about make out at least 1, 2, I think possibly 2 in there. So yeah, like I said, black cheek dad and the white mum. So there's at least 2 in there, so it'd be interesting to see what they look like. Nothing else really is going on at all. Rabbits are absolutely fine. Lucky, bless her though, Lucky's become very vocal indeed since Lola died a couple of weeks ago. She's just chatting away to herself. I think obviously she's lonely, so I might have to break out the Benebator or the Stella Beta and get some quail eggs. I don't know, might do. Georgia really wants me to. So yeah, everyone is present and correct in here. I'm going to get out, get my sliders off, give them a little spray down with disinfectant, just keep them in the doorway for Emma and I, and then think about what everyone else is doing in the house.
Easy when you fly from the truth. Oh, darling, let me be your mountain, 'cause it is my goal. Oh, I wanna be with you.
Right, okay, I'm reviewing the footage. It is quite clear that Violet hasn't actually moved the eggs into the little dip in the middle of her box. She is just sitting on them at the side of the box. Stupid girl, I don't know why. Right, so we're done. Aviary is sorted, fine, cleaned, ready to go, disinfected my shoes. Gonna give it a proper clean. Might do that tomorrow on my day off. But you're probably watching this on Monday, so I'm probably back to work. I don't know. Anyway, right, so hopefully I've cleared up some stuff with the DEFRA information that you can actually keep your birds in your aviary. You don't have to move them out and put them in your house. They are housed. That's what it means. They has to be housed indoors. They are indoors housed. An aviary is housing. Sorted. Like I said, if you've got a flock of less than 50 birds, you don't have to have a dip bath. If you have over 50 birds, then you have to have a dip bath by law with the restrictions. There are other restrictions if there's bird flu within 3 to 10 kilometers of you, but we'll talk about them, worry about them if that happens. But under 50 birds, you don't have to have a dip bath, but it's recommended. So again, this is all things that are recommended to help. You can cover up your aviary, that's up to you as well. I'm not going to unless bird flu gets closer, because I don't want to cover my birds up. Winter's coming, we'll be talking about the heating and stuff soon, but as it stands now, you can have your aviary as it is because your birds are already housed. You can't, wild birds can't get in there, rodents can't get in there. Yes, airborne particles from feathers and stuff and birds like landing on the edge of the aviary and possibly pooing. You take that risk if you don't cover it up. I'm going to take that risk and see what happens. So yeah, that's all updated with the aviary. Obviously, you know, there's new babies and stuff, and we're good to go. Rat wise, nothing. I've not been here much, but there's been a lot of rain. So every time I put peanut butter and stuff in the traps, the rain washes it away. I'm going to reset them and put them back out and see what happens. But like I said, there's been nothing, no evidence of the rat at all. Honestly, nothing. There's no drop-ins, no scratching, there's no change in the size of its hole, no traps have gone off, nothing. So maybe he was working alone. I don't think he was, but he might have been. But yeah, I'm going to go up the house now. I've got a load of my old candles that I've burnt that I need to melt down and make some more, because I've been making some really nice mandals. I bought myself some scents on the internet, which are like top designer men's fragrances, and they smell absolutely bang on. And you put them into the candles and they smell lovely, and I've just been giving them away to people. So I might do that. I'm going to sort the dinner out, await Emma coming home, sort the girls out, and yeah, the usual Sunday stuff. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you cleared up a little bit. I shall talk to you a little bit more in the week or whatever, what happens with the extra budgie eggs, and see what the finches look like when they come out. So I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Yeah.
Tomorrow